Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. In today's show, Rocket Monday, we're going to talk about SpaceX versus Blue Origin. So let's dive right into it. Well, first we will look at a big player, SpaceX. So you have to understand that this was founded in May 6, 2002. So basically, it's a 18-year-old company, completely mature, and it's founded by Elon Musk. Nobody needs to know that. But here's the interesting part: this is a private aerospace industry company. Basically, there has been some changes after space shuttle, where USA was like, okay, we will allow commercials company to handle things, and as they succeed we'll allow them to handle more things. So this company was created with one clear cut goal at the early stages: basically get that goddamn bid from NASA, which was commercial resupply mission, because if they got the money from that project, they will create their own company, and then they will grow. Basically that was the first seed project. So if that had to succeed, only then other things will come along. If that would have failed, the end, game over, pack up and go. So they successfully managed to pull that off, and as of this moment they have upwards of 8,000 employees. So they have a huge company at this point in time. So they are no longer a small kid in town, so to say. They are huge, they are they are experienced, and they are capable of doing things at this point in time. Now let's look at Blue Origin. Now Blue Origin was founded in September 8, 2000. Yes, this is a 20-year-old company, older than SpaceX. This was founded by Jeff Bezos. Now this is also a private aerospace industry, same as SpaceX. However, this is self-funded. What does that mean? That inherently means this company does not have to work for profit. Jeff Bezos is privately funding the damn company. How the heck he can do that? Well, because he's one of the most ludicrously richest person alive at this point in time. Basically, he has so much money after divorce, after living upwards of 50% of it, that he can literally sell enough of his stock, get $1 billion for it, and then give that $1 billion to Blue Origin. Is like, bro, go chill and enjoy. So that translates here. Basically, Blue Origin as a company is acting much more safely, much more cautiously. Basically, they are thinking about it and then they are doing. They're not rushing it through. Basically, how SpaceX does, because SpaceX had to get that situation worked out. Basically, they had to make sure the Falcon 1 fourth mission would be successful, because if that would have failed, the end, game over. They don't have to worry about it. Even if their rockets keep going boom, they were like, we cool, bro, we got this. And they have a lot of engine contracts, and they have around 2500 employees. So not a small company, but not as huge as SpaceX. Now, what is the goal of Elon Musk? Basically, the goal of SpaceX, by extension, it's basically making humans a multi-planetary species. What does that translate to? Elon Musk wants to go to Mars. Now, the reason for that is not just for vanity and all that. It's basically because at this point in time, in our known universe, basically as far as we can see, we are the only living creatures with sentient enough intelligence to use radio telescopes and all that jazz. So, if anything bad happens to one planet, aka Earth, we gone. There is no backup plan. So he wants to create a backup plan. So basically a self-sufficient Mars colony. What does that mean? That simply means the people of Mars can live without interference from Earth. Basically, Earth does not have to send them crops, medicine and all that. Basically, people living on Mars should be self-sufficient. They can take care of themselves, everything from themselves. So if that happens, then let's say big pandemic happens again. This time it really exterminates 100% of people. Again, pandemic cannot jump from one planet to another planet, so Mars would be safe. Then let's say asteroid, meteorite, or some hoo-ha, some supermassive volcano or whatever have you, there will always be a scenario that one of us will survive. Like, let's say bad things happen to Mars, but again Earth would survive. Bad thing happens to Earth, Mars will survive. So he wants to create a backup copy of Earth, and he's very clear about the time sensitive nature of this. Basically, this is not something you can wait. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that in 5000 years. You may not live for 5000 years. Basically, as a whole civilization, you may not live, because you have to understand, countries and civilization, they do not live very long. So he's like, we have to do this, and we have to do this as quickly as possible. So he's everything he does is directly focused on that goal. From his early missions, where he was like had a tendency to just mouth off, and Elon timeline where he was landing on Mars basically by 2018. Yes, he was actually doing that. Basically, Dragon capsules and multiple of Dragon capsules connected as a whole habitat. Again, he really needs to calm down. But again, as he became more mature, more experienced, actually building products, actually delivering, and then he's like, yeah, it will take time, but we can do this. So that's the goal of Elon Musk and SpaceX by extension. Basically, get to Mars and lay the foundation of self-sufficient colony, because again, it will take time. Basically, you can think about like 100 to 500 years before you reach a point where, okay, no longer essential supplies are needed. Basically, from medication to food to clothing to shelter, basically everything that we need for human civilization can be there self-sufficiently. That will take time, but he want to lay down the foundation of it. What about Jeff Bezos? Now, Jeff Bezos is a different kind of individual. His goal is basically make Earth a safe haven. Now, reality of Jeff Bezos' approach is basically simple. Earth is the only place we evolved to live in. Basically, even if you can terraform Mars, you will not enjoy that. Why? Gravity is not the same, and there is a very serious risk that you can create a Martian civilization. What does that mean? That simply means you will be physically incompatible to breed with each other. You will literally end up creating two civilizations, which again not too bad, because again we have communication, so we will not drift apart too much. But again, things could heat up, and even with that, it's like, why not protect the one place we have? Like, let's protect this Eden. So his mindset is completely different. He's like, let's protect Earth rather than creating a backup. He's like, okay, my goal is to focus on making Earth a safe place. So his goal, how the heck you want to achieve that, is basically move industry and people to space. Now, when I say move people, I do not mean 100% of the Earth's people. Basically, Earth's pollution sources are generally industry. Industry requires energy. Energy pollutes. He's like, go to space, and we have more than enough solar energy to take care of it for centuries to come. For as long as sun, lives, we have more than enough. So basically that is translating to around 5 billion or so. So that's more than good enough. So his approach is very simple. Like, go to basically moon, lay the foundation of moon mining industry, then lay the foundation of Dyson spheres, basically O'Neill cylinders. He wants to start with that, and then he wants to expand that. Basically, slowly start to take away the pollution from Earth, and start to utilize better luxuries of space to do better manufacturing, like let's say better optical fiber, better medication, better 3D printed organs. Because these things are much more easily doable in a zero-G environment. So he wants to do something like that. So basically, he wants to clean Earth and preserve it. Like, bro, Earth, do not make industry there. We have space. We got this. No problem, brother. So this approach is a bit different than Elon Musk. Elon Musk is like, we gotta do, create a backup. So who is the winner of this race? Well, short answer, SpaceX. Now, why is that? Basically, SpaceX has actual asset. Even though this is a younger company, it has actual tools, assets that they can say, like, we have built this, we have used this. And recently, as in like demo mission tools, proved the fact that their rocket is human rated. Let that sink in. They have a rocket which is human rated. This is the first time in human history where a non-government based organization managed to do this. This is on a different level. This is something that is tangibly awesome, so to say. And what does Blue Origin have? Well, not much, practically speaking. Yes, they have a lot of political power, because Jeff Bezos is an individual who's like, you should not mess with Jeff Bezos. Basically, he's on a different level. He's like, bro, I got more money than you can count, kind of guy. And he has reached basically to the pad battle that they had. Basically, SpaceX and Blue Origin had an issue with the launch pad, and they fought that. And it's like, the only reason SpaceX won, even though basically Blue Origin got almost every senator under supporting their movement, is a simple fact. NASA was like, bro, I get it. You want to, let's say Blue Origin wants to have this pad and loan it out to other people, and so it is not non-exclusive. But here's the deal: you do not have a single goddamn rocket. SpaceX is like, bro, we got the rocket. We want to launch human missions, and you have tested it. You have human certified it. So just put people on and send them to ISS. So reality was, Blue Origin does not have actual oomph behind it. They have a lot of power. Like, in simplest terms, people say Elon Musk is Iron Man and Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. He has power and he should not be taken lightly, but not no physical tangible evidence as well. Now, again, Amazon Web Services, that's printing money like there is no tomorrow. Amazon Marketplace, that's like destroying every small business without any care. Again, very powerful individual, by no means is like laughing stock, but as an actual space company, let's just say not that good, so to say. Again, that does not mean they're gonna go away, because again, NASA learned from space shuttle mistake, and they're like, dude, no matter what happens, we will never have one provider for it. So Blue Origin will always get the second slot, so as a backup and redundancy. And the current mission, that's why you see even SpaceX and Blue Origin, both of them are getting contracts to build the final space, basically moon-faring situations. Why? They want to make sure there is always more than one option. So SpaceX is one, but Blue Origin is not out of the game, so to say. So this was my presentation on basically Elon Musk versus Jeff Bezos. I hope you liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I'd urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment, because I try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.